My child, this message will touch the deepest parts of your heart. This revelation will stir emotions you have kept buried for too long. This truth about your Father will change how you see your past, your present, and your future. The relationship that shaped you, the connection that formed you, the bond that has influenced every other relationship in your life, it is not what you have believed it to be. Listen carefully, for these words are meant specifically for you, at this exact moment in your life. You have been chosen to receive this truth about your Father before it's too late. Something has been hidden from you about your Father's heart. Something has been concealed about His true feelings for you. Something has been working in the unseen places of your relationship that you have never recognized. The distance you felt, the absence you experienced, the silence that seemed to define His love, it was never the complete story. You may not have realized it, but there has been more happening than your eyes could see. The heavens have witnessed what was truly in your Father's heart. The divine has seen what human limitations could not express. And now you must know what has been hidden. The love that was there but unspoken. The pride that was real but unexpressed. The connection that existed beyond what was visible. Your Father has loved you more deeply than you have ever known. Your Father has thought about you more often than you could imagine. Your Father has cared for you in ways that were never shown on the surface. The times you thought He was absent, He was fighting battles you couldn't see. The moments you felt forgotten, you were actually at the center of His thoughts. The days you believed you didn't matter, you were the very reason He found strength to continue. That feeling of disconnect was not the reality. That sense of being unloved was not the truth. That belief that you weren't important enough was never how He saw you. Your Father's heart has always held you in a place of honor. Your Father's mind has always carried your image. Your Father's soul has always been connected to yours in ways that transcend human understanding. The words He couldn't say, the emotions He struggled to show, the affection He didn't know how to express, none of these were because you weren't worthy of them. They were because He Himself was broken in ways you couldn't see. His own Father never taught Him the language of love. His own childhood never showed Him how to express what He felt. His own wounds never healed enough to let His heart speak freely. But hear this truth now, behind His silence was a universe of love. Behind His distance was a mountain of care. Behind His struggle was an ocean of pride in who you are. But my child, do not let your heart break over what you feel you've missed. Do not allow sorrow to overwhelm you for connections you thought were never there. Do not permit regret to consume you for conversations that never happened. For I am revealing this to you not to deepen your pain but to begin your healing. I am not uncovering these truths to create fresh wounds but to mend the ones that have been bleeding silently. I am not speaking these words to increase your grief but to finally bring it to an end. This revelation comes not to tell you what you've lost, but to show you what has always been yours. Your Father's love was real, even when it was invisible. Your Father's care was constant, even when it seemed absent. Your Father's heart was yours, even when His words failed to tell you so. The connection between you was never truly broken. The bond between you was never actually severed. The relationship between you was never really lost. It simply existed in a form you couldn't recognize, in a language you weren't taught to understand, in expressions that didn't match what your heart needed to receive. This is not the first time you've wondered about your father's true feelings. This is not the first time you've questioned what was really in his heart. This is not the first time you've tried to make sense of your relationship. But this time is different. This time is not just wishful thinking from a hurt child's heart. This time is not mere imagination trying to fill an empty space. This time is the actual truth being revealed in divine timing. Previous moments of connection may have been fleeting. Previous attempts at understanding may have left you confused. Previous hopes for closeness may have ended in disappointment. But this time the very veil between perception and reality is being lifted. This time the actual truth of your father's heart is being exposed. This time the real story of his love is being written clearly. Do you feel the shift in your chest right now? Do you sense the weight lifting from your shoulders? Do you notice the tears that come not from pain but from relief? That is because what has been misunderstood for so long is finally coming into focus. The puzzle pieces that never seemed to fit are finally finding their place. The questions that never had answers are finally being resolved. This is the time to open your heart completely. This is the time to set aside old judgments. This is the time to release hardened conclusions about your father. My child, you must prepare yourself to see differently now. You must allow yourself to feel differently now. You must permit yourself to understand differently now. Not every memory should be reinterpreted through your pain. Not every action should be filtered through your hurt. Not every word should be analyzed through your disappointment. You must look with eyes of compassion. You must listen with ears of understanding. You must feel with a heart of forgiveness. There is a divine hand guiding you toward healing now. There is a heavenly wisdom helping you reframe your story now. There is a spiritual truth illuminating what was always there but unseen. Be careful not to reject what feels unfamiliar. Be cautious not to dismiss what contradicts your conclusions. Be mindful not to close yourself to perspectives that challenge what you've always believed about your father. Even as your mind has created one story about your father, the truth has been writing another. Even as your pain has painted one picture of his heart, reality has been drawing something completely different. Even as your understanding formed one conclusion, the actual facts have been pointing to something else entirely. You have seen his silence as indifference, but it was often his struggle for words. You have interpreted his absence as abandonment, but it was sometimes his fight to provide. You have understood his distance as disinterest, but it was frequently his own unhealed wounds preventing closeness. Behind the scenes of what you experienced, there was so much you couldn't see. Within the story you've told yourself, there are chapters you didn't know existed. Beneath the surface of your interactions, there were currents of love you never felt. Where you saw only emptiness, there was often fullness of feeling without expression. Where you felt only coldness, there was often warmth that couldn't break through his barriers. Where you experienced only rejection, there was often a heart longing to connect but not knowing how. There is a deeper truth about your father's love that doesn't erase your pain but exists alongside it. You are not alone in your father wound. You have never been alone in your struggle to understand him. You have never walked the path of father hunger by yourself. Even in the nights when you cried for a closeness that wasn't there. Even in the days when you watched other children experience what you longed for. Even in the moments when father-shaped emptiness felt too vast to bear. My child, every tear has been seen. Every longing has been heard. Every moment of fatherlessness has been witnessed. The times you felt most abandoned were still times you were held by divine love. The moments of greatest disappointment were still moments when healing was being prepared. The experiences of deepest rejection were still experiences gathering purpose for your future. No prayer for your father's love went unheard. No hope for connection was dismissed. No desire for understanding was forgotten. All of it has been working toward this moment of revelation. All of it has been moving toward this time of healing. All of it has been leading to this new understanding that will transform not just how you see your father, but how you see yourself as his child. I will not allow the pain of your father relationship to define you anymore. I will not permit misunderstanding to continue separating your hearts. I will not accept silence to keep speaking louder than love. For the divine stands now as witness to what really was, what truly is, and what will be between you and your father. The cycle of emotional distance that has marked your family for generations is now revealed. The pattern of unexpressed love that has been passed down is now exposed. The inability to connect heart to heart that has been inherited is now understood. You are entering a new reality of understanding. You are stepping into a new identity as your father's beloved. You are claiming a new narrative about your relationship. No weapon of misinterpretation formed against this truth will prosper. No wall of past hurt blocking this healing will stand. No fortress of protection you've built around your heart will withstand this love. Divine understanding now fights for your healing. Heavenly wisdom now battles for your peace. Spiritual truth now clears away decades of confusion. Your story is being rewritten. Your perception is being renewed. Your relationship with your father is being restored to what it was always meant to be. You have received this revelation about your father now because your heart is finally ready to hear it. You have been shown these truths now because your life is at a crucial turning point. You have been given this understanding now because others will need the healing you're about to experience. This is not random timing. This is not accidental revelation. This is not coincidental understanding. This is precisely calculated divine intervention in your father wound. The truth comes to you because it must flow through you. The healing finds you because it must be channeled through you. The understanding reaches you because it must be shared through you. The pain that has limited your capacity for connection is being healed. The misunderstanding that has hindered your ability to trust is being corrected. The father wound that has restricted your heart's freedom is being mended. Heaven is positioning you as a healer of father wounds in others. Heaven is establishing you as a bridge builder between fathers and children. Heaven is preparing you as a storyteller of redemption in broken relationships. The confusing interactions with your father will soon make perfect sense. The painful memories that never added up will soon find their meaning. The contradictions in his behavior that baffled you will soon have explanation. Divine insight is being poured into your understanding. Heavenly perspective is being granted to your memories. Supernatural comprehension is being given to your experiences. You will begin to see love where you once saw only neglect. You will begin to recognize care where you once saw only indifference. You will begin to understand struggle where you once saw only failure. And the moments that hurt you most deeply will be revealed in new light. The incidents that cut you most sharply will be understood differently. The words that wounded you most severely will be heard through new ears. Everything is changing, not the past itself, but your understanding of it. My child, stand tall in your new understanding. Walk confidently in your healed perception. Move boldly in your restored relationship with your Father. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt what has been revealed to you today. Your days of defining yourself by what you lacked from Him are over. Your season of interpreting your worth through His limitations is finished. Your time of seeing yourself through the lens of His failures has ended. Lift your heart. Raise your eyes. Expand your understanding. For the one who sees only through pain will remain wounded even in the presence of love. But the one who sees through truth will find healing even in the midst of brokenness. Do not allow old interpretations to pull you back into darkness. Do not let familiar pain return you to comfortable misunderstanding. Do not permit bitter conclusions to keep you in the prison of resentment. There will be voices that try to remind you of every failing. There will be memories that try to convince you this healing isn't real. There will be emotions that try to persuade you nothing has changed. Recognize these as distractions. Identify these as obstacles. See these as tests of your new understanding. Not everyone will understand your changed perspective. Not all will support your journey toward reconciliation. Not many will comprehend the depth of this revelation. Some will question. Some will doubt. Some will remind you of the hurt. Stand firm in what has been revealed. Hold fast to what has been shown. Remain steadfast in what has been unveiled about your Father's true heart. No matter what your past experiences have been, your Father's love was real. No matter what was missing in your relationship, connection is still possible. No matter what remains unresolved between you, healing has begun today. Take these truths deep into your heart. Plant them in the very soil where pain has grown for so long. Water them with forgiveness and understanding. For the revelation has been given. The truth has been spoken. The healing has begun.